Well guys, this one right by my side is my personal build. And I've built it with you guys 2 years ago. Now it changed quite a lot since when I built it, but now after 2 years, it's finally time for me to upgrade it and actually go back to the kind of build I had in my first ever PC. Now, for those of you, probably the 5 people among you that have been following me for a while, you know that back in 2019, when I first opened up the channel, I had an NZXT Manta PC build, the one which you also see around my channel a lot. And it was an all NZXT build because I was a massive NZXT fan and I thought at the time they were light years ahead of the competition. They had daisy chainable fans, they had the Kraken X62 with insane performance, and the Manta just looked crazy. Now I did switch to the Height Y60, which is what I have here, but today I'm going back to NZXT. And I'm doing that because they released a ton of new products and I think they're doing something right. Now I don't want to spoiler too much to you guys, but they have a monoblock fan on the new Kraken cooler. The new H9 Flow Plus has double monoblock fans with tilted angle, and they made some insane new power supplies. Their new motherboard, based on the ASRock platform, is insane. So, being fully transparent, I reached out to NZXT and they actually sent me all these products. So I say we go ahead and upgrade my PC, and while doing that, I'm also going from a 3090 to a 5090. Yes guys, I gave up and I am upgrading to a 5090. I know, I'll do a dedicated video probably on the reasoning, but I'll also tell you guys here. The reason is, finally, they came down in price, at least in Italy, where I live. So I managed to get one for very cheap. It's not the best model, it's just a Ventus, but it was cheap enough. So with that said, I say we go ahead, dismount my PC because I have to take off my delidded Ryzen 7 1900X3D with liquid metal inside. Take off that, the limited edition Patriot Viper RAM, and one of the best NVMEs in the market, the TeamGroup Z540, which is in there. Take basically those 4 components out and then go ahead and put them in my new build because, you know, we have kind of a tight budget because I spent all my money on the 5090, okay? So let's get started. Actually, removing stuff from here is probably the easiest part. RAM takes literally 2 seconds. Take off the all-in-one cover. We can now undo this and all our NVMEs. This is our drive. I did do pretty complicated cable management. We have a hidden drive behind the GPU. Okay, so this was not my best paste application. Time to take off my delidded 9800X3D. Now, it's quite scary, even for me, to actually go ahead and clean the inside of the socket, because you know that if anything drops on the actual socket, it's gonna be a pain to clean. But safest way to have it is to then close it off and actually remount the cooler on top of it, because in this way nothing can go inside. So this is what I'm gonna do. It may look like it's counterintuitive, but it's the best way to protect the socket if you don't have the original socket cover. Okay guys, here we are ready to actually mount the build, and I haven't been this excited in a while. So I also apologize for the background, but since it's my PC, I'm building it in my house instead of in my studio, so it's a lot less professional for the recordings. So let's get building. Now this one is a $500 motherboard from NZXT, and it's the N9 X870E. Now this is not for everybody, but I think it's for me because I use a lot of storage and this has a lot of connectivity. So the X870E chipset especially, you should get it only if you're a professional and if you need the extra lanes. PCIe lanes is what you're paying for, and also the I/O, because this thing has a lot of USBs. Did I mention that it's going to be also an insanely good overclocker? Oof, it's nice guys, it's really nice. So we get the Wi-Fi antennas and we also get these. Now these are really cool. These are basically extenders if you need even more connectivity, pretty much. The actual motherboard. So we have a full manual and 2 SATA cables. So guys, I checked in the manual and these are basically proprietary connectors, because the thing with NZXT is one of the reasons why you should buy an old NZXT computer is it takes very little to install because everything interconnects and you control it all via CAM, the software. So you don't even need to use the motherboard to control the RGB through the software. Let's see the actual motherboard. Guys, This thing is insane. Now, the first thing, as usual, by all NZXT motherboards, they have this design where they cover up as much of the motherboard as they can. So basically, all these heatsinks and stuff, they're used to cover the components which we don't need specific access to. So even though it's not a BTF motherboard, this is as close to it as it gets. It's really clean. And this is also gonna be RGB, which is nice. We have dual 8-pin power connectors and a variety of I/O ports. There are too many to list. I'm just gonna show you guys on the footage. You can connect whatever you want, like literally, even if you don't go with the NZXT environment, you're gonna be able to connect all the RGB fans you want to it with no issues at all. We also have a power on and reset button, which I use a lot for test benching. And we have a code reader, which is super handy if you're troubleshooting. On the back, we have both clear CMOS and BIOS flashback, which is very important in my opinion. And I even like the design on the back with this gray. It's sick. We have a massive heatsink for the Gen 5 drive with a little peel off to do. And this full cover heatsink hiding another 3 Gen 4 NVMe slots, which are connected directly to the chipset. Gen 5 goes straight into the CPU, of course, and I use Gen 5 for my workload. So there we're putting the TeamGroup drive, Z540, crazy Gen 5 drive, 4 terabytes. And my secondary drives I'm putting down there. The finish of the motherboard is just great, like even to the touch. This thing is premium. You can tell it's a $500 board for sure. And just take a look at how many VRMs we have. It's crazy. Here we are with the best part, finally filling up this motherboard. Let's get started. And the delidded CPU is in. It's always a bit of stress because you're like, is the CPU gonna crack the die? Now you guys tell me if this RAM doesn't match the motherboard. Now the only thing I'm slightly unhappy about is gonna be, I have to remove this, even though it's really nice because this SSD has an included heatsink, or I could actually just get rid of the heatsink and place it there. I think I'll just get rid of the heatsink. This heatsink is too nice. See. Now we wanna take off this. Now to lift it up, it's quite simple. You just have to do this. And here it is. The new cracking, guys. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. I mean, just from the box. I'm sorry if I'm fangirling too much, but... Instruction manual, don't need that. Let's see it. So this is the crazy part about NZXT, is that it's basically already done. Like this is the only cable you need to connect. And then the rest that you have in the box are simply mounting brackets. This is compatible with every socket, of course, AMD and Intel. Paste is pre-applied and this thing is huge. Like maybe you can see it a little bit by comparing it to my head. It's massive block. Wow, and the tubes are so soft. NZXT never disappoints. Let's see the monoframe. This is one of the new things. Basically, the fans are all in a single frame. Really cool. Now the all-in-one has a connector for the pump, which is relocated right here, so it can be completely clean with 0 cables coming from the water block. This is what a premium brand is for. It's those small things that are gonna make the build look so much better. And we can't really do them ourselves. It has to be the manufacturer that does them. Now I wanna mount this with the tubes coming down, with the all-in-one sitting on top like this, because it's how I like it the best. So since the cables comes out from this way, I have to mount it in this way. Well, let's mount it. This is the mono cable, all proprietary with a SATA connector, and of course USB, pump, and it's all sleeved. Well guys, it's time to open up the case. Now this thing is just genuinely massive. This one is the cover panel, which basically helps you with cable management a lot. And also is where all your 2.5-inch SSD bays are. right here on the back. And the cool thing is you don't have to take it off, you can just leave it free to slide. Let's see which accessories we get. Lots of screws and also cable management stuff, all white. Guys, check out just how nice they look. Why is this black though? Like, you're making everything white. Make this white also, come on. Okay, NZXT C1200 Go, plenty fine from 5090. They really sell you with a picture like this on the back. This is cool packaging. It's really heavy, which is a great start. Wow. I mean, take a look at the details. Like, this thing is too pretty, guys, too pretty. So we have a black cable. So this, some brands, they make it white. Oof, but they can't critique those cables. But these are just crazy. Like, this is not really sleeved, but it's like the best kind of non-sleeved cables you can get. Okay, it's finally time to unbox the most expensive part of the build and one of my first 5090s. So now listen guys, the reason I bought a Ventus 3X is I was able to get it at MSRP. Okay, it's not the best card, it's just the cheapest one I could find. And if you're buying a 5090, they're all quite nice. So we do have GPU stand, the same that you get in the Vanguard. So this is quite interesting. We do get a 4 8-pin to one 12-pin power adapter, which please do not use. We have that very good NZXT power supply for a reason. And then, aside some warranty cards and some less important stuff, we have our actual card. It's a chunky boy, guys, isn't it? So we have quite a few things to peel off. We can see the fan cables here. Nice central 12-volt high power connector. We don't have a BIOS switch, nor anything extra, because this is a base model. Massive 3 slots with the usual triple DisplayPort, 1 HDMI. I mean, it's all plasticky, it's definitely a cheap model, but it kind of has some nice feel to it, still being a 5090. Now I want to hear, if this was your personal build, and if you were in my position, would you have gone with the best value option, which is this one? Or would you have spent the extra 500 bucks to get like a Vanguard or a Strix model? Be honest. So like this, it actually matches the color a little bit, but on the side, it really doesn't, but... Now check this out, the PC is really clean on the front, but then you can tell I built it because it's not cable managed, and we are not gonna cable manage it. We're just gonna close it up because we enjoy our PC, it's a bit messy. Well, here we are with the PC fully finished, and I've actually tested it for a while, and I am absolutely stunned. I'm super happy. I feel this is the upgrade I've been wanting to do for a while. Honestly, NZXT surprised me again. Even though I had high expectations, what surprised me the most was the absolute ease of install. So building a high-end PC like this generally takes probably a few hours. I want to say 3 to 4 hours, because you have to manage all the RGB, figure out where all the cables go. But here it took me like 2 hours. It was a super easy build, because the thing with NZXT is it doesn't look the best if you pick one NZXT component and place it in a different environment. But if you go full NZXT, it is all so easy to build, so easy to do, that literally you can't go wrong. And via the CAM software, it's super easy to control all the RGB. You can set it how you prefer in 2 minutes. But ease of installation aside, the case is extremely spacious. It makes even the 5090 look small. Definitely buying a cheaper end 5090 is making me pay the price in aesthetic, because I think with a white model it would have been absolutely amazing. At least the RAM really matches the motherboard, and the motherboard also really impressed me. Now, it came with a very old BIOS, so I had to update it, but it's running flawlessly out of the box, and it recognized my old operating system. And between the motherboard and the all-in-one, I got a nice performance boost on my CPU as well. So people that says that motherboard you get doesn't matter, probably not doing some overclocking, because here are a few figures. So with the previous settings, the ones I used in my previous motherboard, the exact same, with the new all-in-one, I'm getting 10% more performance on my CPU, because it is throttling 400 MHz less under a full AVX workload under permanent T5 for a few hours. So 10% uplift just by getting a bigger and better all-in-one. And after going to the motherboard and retweaking everything, by the way, the BIOS is very complete. You have everything, and it's also so easy. They even give you pre-done undervolting presets, which is crazy good. I was able to get 20% more performance compared to my older setup. A lot of that is thanks to the thermal headroom, of course. RAM compatibility is also a lot better on an X870E than the old X670 I was running, so I'm very happy about that also. And when it comes to the power supply, I have nothing to say except it can handle a 5090 plenty fine. And speaking about the 5090, I mean, it was a massive performance upgrade. Just take a look at the Firestrike score before versus after. It's not even comparable. And I'm really happy. I can actually fully recommend these products. They are expensive, but they are not overpriced. You're paying a premium for a premium product, and I think if you buy something this expensive, if you have even one little issue, it's a deal breaker, but this time I couldn't find any. So I can actually feel comfortable in recommending you copy my build if you want, even though I'd be a little jealous. But with that said, I want to hear what you guys think. Would you have changed anything, GPU aside? Okay, tell me also about the GPU, which one would you have put? And if you want me to change anything else, also let me know. And I think I'll test out everything for a while, maybe do also an updated review on a single component. And with that said, thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.